Tucked high above the vast floor of the Owens Valley, hidden deep within the rugged folds of the eastern Sierra Nevada, lies a place where time slows and history lingers in the mountain air. Black Eagle Camp at Champion Mine. Our journey began just outside of Bishop, at the trailhead at Jeffrey Mine Canyon, also known as Forest Road 4S135. Packs tightened, and weighing in at a solid 40 pounds, we stepped forward, leaving the modern world behind. The canyon wasted no time reminding us who was in charge. Steep, relentless, and scarred by floods and erosion, the trail demanded focus. Sections were washed out, forcing careful footing and the occasional scramble. But with every step upward, the reward grew, expansive, jaw-dropping views stretching across the Owens Valley below. After 3 hours of climbing, sweat, and determination, we crested the final ridge, and there it was, Black Eagle Camp. Perched against the mountainside like a forgotten outpost, the cabin stood strong, weathered, but remarkably intact after more than a century. Built in the early 1900s during the mining boom, this camp once housed a gang of ragged miners, boots worn thin, hands calloused to leather, sunburned faces carved by wind and grit. It was back in 1917 geologist Adolf Knopf spotted a unique deposit of Andalusite high in these mountains. Dr. Joseph Jeffrey, a dentist with a passion for minerals, developed the site starting in 1921. For nearly 25 years, until 1945, this became the Champion Sparkplug Mine, the world's only commercial source of Andalusite at the time. The mineral was prized for making high-temperature insulators. In spark plugs and laboratory porcelain, miners hauled supplies up these brutal switchbacks on mules, including a massive 600-pound air compressor that powered the operation and extracted over 26,000 tons of ore. It was a tough, isolated life in one of the most rugged corners of the White Mountains, yet these cabins and structures still echo with their stories today. Life here wasn't romantic. It was grueling, dangerous, and uncertain, but standing inside the maze of tunnels, it felt almost sacred. 5 bunk cabins welcomed us in, none more legendary than the Hilton. Nearby, a rustic kitchen and a cozy dining hall, complete with a potbelly stove, offered warmth and shelter, just as they had for miners generations ago. I chose a cabin near the dining hall, with a deck overlooking the valley, a front row seat to one of the most spectacular views in California. After settling in, we explored. A natural spring trickled through the camp, life-giving water that's only present when snowpack and rainfall allow. Without it, staying here would mean hauling every drop of water on your back. There was a small museum filled with photographs and relics of the past, a workshop stocked with tools for those willing to give back, and simple comforts, fire pits, outhouses, even a horseshoe pit, and a bocce ball set. The first night, we dined on the deck, wine carried all the way up the canyon for the occasion. As the sun dipped below the Sierra, the sky turned surreal, painted in golds, reds, and purples. Laughter echoed through the camp as stories were shared, and when darkness fell, the moon rose quietly over the peaks. Lying in my bunk that night, I couldn't help but wonder, who else had slept here? What dreams did they carry? And what fears followed them into the dark? Morning came, warm and bright, and with it a new challenge, the Upper Mine, a brutal 4-mile round trip with over 4,000 feet of climbing. The trail was barely hanging on in places, steep, exposed, and often washed away entirely. Every step required balance and intention, but at the top, the mountain revealed its secrets. Old mining structures still clung to the slopes. Rusted relics lay scattered like forgotten tools of ambition, and carved deep into the earth, mine shafts, countless and haunting, reminders of the risk men once took in the pursuit of fortune. After hours of exploring, we descended back to camp. That's when we saw them. 3 Sierra Nevada bighorn sheep, quiet, graceful, and completely at home in this rugged terrain. They grazed calmly, seemingly unbothered by our presence. For a long while, we just watched, grateful for the moment. That night, we gathered around the fire, The sun slipped slowly behind the Sierras, and one by one the stars ignited overhead. There's something primal about sitting by a fire in a place like this. No noise, no distractions, just the crackle of the flames and the vastness of the night sky. That night, tired and exhausted, sleep came easy. The next day brought more exploration, this time south of camp. The trail was faint, eroded, and easy to lose, but persistence paid off. Hidden among the terrain were more intact mining structures, silent witnesses to a time when dynamite blast echoed through these mountains, and every strike of a pick carried the hope of striking it rich. By the third night, the chill had crept in. The forecast was snow. We fired up the potbelly stove in the dining hall and enjoyed a well-deserved meal. After dinner, a lively game of zonk, also known as Farkle, filled the dining hall with laughter, and in my case, a thorough ass-whooping. But that's part of it. Adventure has a way of humbling you in the best possible way. On our final morning, we packed not just our gear, but the memories we made, bidding farewell to this cozy mountain home. Black Eagle Camp isn't just a historic site, it's a living testament to the grit of the past and the generosity of the present, maintained with pride by dedicated volunteers. Thanks, Nina and Lisa, and visitors who treat it with respect. It's a place that feels truly magical. If you're up for a challenging yet rewarding adventure in the Eastern Sierra, this is one you'll never forget. For the hike out, we chose the Upper Mine Trail, a longer but less punishing route. The wildflowers were in full bloom, butterflies drifted through the air, and lizards darted across sunlit rocks. It felt like the mountain was giving us a gentle send-off. Back at the truck, boots came off, clean clothes went on, and reality slowly returned as we reflected on an unforgettable adventure. A bumpy drive out of the canyon led us straight to the sleepy town of Bishop and the legendary Schatz Bakery, a place where the smell of fresh bread and pastries hits you before you even walk through the door. We filled a basket with well-earned indulgence. And then the perfect ending, a soak in the Kehoe Hot Springs. Under a brilliant blue sky, we eased into the warm, mineral-rich water. Muscles relaxed, the fatigue melted away. The mountain stood quietly in the distance, as if watching us one last time. It wasn't just a trip. It was a journey into history, into nature, and in some small way, into ourselves.